out, go to fourth, and it was like, G'day guys, Jordan from TIDYGQ here. It's been a while since I filmed my little rundown of what I'm going to do. Instead of one car, I now have two. Started off stripping down the cab, pulled the cab off the chassis, that way we could get to the floor pans and we could get to all the nitty gritty of the chassis because it needs a lot of running repairs or maintenance. So with the chassis, we are not going too crazy. I was going to brace it front to back, but because we've just had the COVID lockdown, PSR, chock-a-block, and I'll be waiting for a long time to actually get the bracing because they sent me out the wrong kit when I ordered it. At the moment, I'll just be doing the rear bracing from the rear control arm forward, just because being a dual cab, you do get that stress and it does pay to have that bracing in there. I found a hairline crack on the inside of my chassis. It's probably only that long and you can barely make it out, but the fact that it's there is enough to be like, this thing needs to be braced up. So we're going to be bracing the chassis, or at least the back half for now. We still may do the rest. Running gear wise, it needs new brakes. So I'm hunting down a pair of twin piston GQ calipers, if anyone knows, anyone with some? Hit us up. And I have bought a TB48 GU brake booster. Try and help it just stop on the mark a little bit quicker, because this thing started off with drum brakes in the back, which were terrible and gave me nothing but issues. So we put the H233 rear diff in, which has the discs. So we did the disc rear conversion, which made a great improvement. But now it's time to try and make that a little bit better without going GU diffs. But these diffs are fine for now, and as I said, it's only a family tourer. It doesn't need that big wide stance on it. Better brakes in it. The big booster, 4.8 booster, because when we have the camper on, it does have its own trailer brake system, but it'd be nice just to be able to know that I can stop on a dime when I have to. Bushes, they're all pretty bad. It's making a lot of rattles and all that. It's been a work car, it's been a daily, it's been a bush car for so long. It's running issues, as in like it's maintenance issues, just started to catch up on me a little bit. So I've got to do all the bushes, engine mounts. We replaced the gearbox. I lost third gear in Mildura when we went to Hatta. From second to fourth, it was screaming its ass out, go to fourth, and it was like, the box is an EFI, TB EFI box, which has the twin synchro rather than the single. It's a much smoother box to drive with. It's been bloody beautiful. But because we upset the rear main seal, it didn't leak. It wasn't leaking when we pulled the box off. But when we've put it on, it's obviously upset the seal. So while the body is off, we'll pull the gearbox off, do the rear main, and we'll also do input seal on the transfer case. And I also have to do things like the manifold. It's starting to get a little bit of a leak in there. So while I can get to all this sort of stuff, I will. Painting the chassis, just black. I'm not going Raptorline. Personal preference, I'm not a big fan of it. The gearbox will be getting sprayed up, probably silver. The block will be being painted black again. Everything will be painted so it'll look fresh, because this thing will be more of a highway princess than it already was. So, because I'm putting a lot of time, sweat, tears and money into it, I sort of just want to be able to just take it away every now and then and have a fully restored, pristine GQ dual cab tourer in the shed. I'll be doing all new intercooler work. We'll be doing all our own bar work, all custom stuff. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. It's hard to try and find something that hasn't been done to a GQ before, but I have got a few tricks up my sleeve, but we'll have to wait. You'll have to wait until I get up to those to see what I'm doing. I swapped my Razzler bar work with a friend of mine, Jacob, for a TJM front pro locker. So that'll be getting put in. So with the motor, we're keeping it TD42. A few people have asked me if I'm putting anything a little bit more sinister in it, but she's a good old girl. She makes a good coffee. She's 540,000 K strong, but we've got good compression, no blow-by. It still purrs like a kitten, so we're just going to keep it as is at the moment. We've done a few different things to the motor, so it didn't need it, but my old viscous fan and hub seized up, so I put a GU viscous hub and a G35 fan on there. It works fine. The other fans like Quick As and UFI, they're good too, but we're not running big power. We're still running a 10mm pump, and it doesn't get hot at all, so we're just we're keeping it as it is, sort of. But as far as the turbo goes, the yin yang spinny thing, it's going great. It's been going awesome for 4 years at 20 pounds, so there's no real point in changing it out. Yeah, as far as the motor goes, we're keeping it as it is basically.